Hey everyone, it's Joseph Katz here again with another edition of Work Smart. I am here with Kettle co-founder Dan Rosenzweig. Dan, how are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing great. Fall is in the air. It's a good time of year.
Sure.
Uh, just recently, Ernst Young released a report about returning to office, and there was a stat which we can dig into and pull apart a little bit here. About 60% of organizations do not yet have a plan for how they're going to do this. You want to elaborate and dig into that? Because I know you read the article.
I sure did. So am I surprised, I guess, that 60% of organizations don't have a return to work plan? Yes and no. You've had a year and a half to come up with a plan, even longer. From what I understand, people don't want to get it wrong, and that's okay. But being motivated exclusively out of fear is probably creating more anxiety within your organization as people don't have any guidance of what's coming. So I think that certainly is a surprise. For those that do, there are many organizations who do have plans, although not a majority. Why not look to organizations who do have plans and talk to them like we do and ask, how is it working? Some things are going well, some things aren't. We can learn from others' mistakes, but I think having no plan whatsoever is sort of a path to failure in a lot of ways. So
there's definitely fear. There's definitely fear about creating plans, as some of the big tech companies created and changed and then adapted. I mean, we talked about Amazon not too long ago.
I think that shows growth, right? Like, as for I can use any metaphor, but like, you grow, you audit, you improve, you keep moving. No one's expecting anyone to get this right the first time. I know that's something you like to say. I know something that Nick likes to say as well. No one's going to get this right. So let's start somewhere. Let's give your employees some guidance. Let's find a path forward.
What else about the Ernst Young research surprised you or?
Yeah, so there's a couple stats here that I think were super interesting. Between 70 and 85% of those surveyed said that their current work arrangement, right, which is hybrid, is just as effective, if not more effective, than how they worked before the pandemic. So we hear a lot about how employees are sort of out on an island and there's no culture build. These statistics certainly go against that. To continue to build on that, 62% of companies say that their culture has improved since the start of the pandemic, and now they are running hybrid work models. 62% say culture has improved. So I saw a funny thing on the internet the other day that said like the pros and cons of hybrid work, and the pros there were just a list of giving people time back, better work-life balance, less burnout, etc. Right? And then on the cons, it was just a bunch of made-up articles about things that why life is better returning to the office. It's not necessarily better in the office or better at home. It's good to have a hybrid solution that allows you to get the best of both worlds, empower your employees, give them agency to choose what environments they're going to be most productive in, right? And then you can build culture, right? Clearly, being remote, you can still build culture because 62% of companies say their culture has improved. So if you can continue to build culture in a remote world, anchor it with physical, events and things that bring people together to collaborate, you can have your cake and eat it too. That's what we do here at Kettle Space. We're here to help you build that.
So the one thing that I keep hearing over and over as I read more or listen to more conversations on this topic is something that you and I keep talking about, and which is completely relevant here, is just listen to what your employees want. Sometimes you can agree with your employees and you can give them what they want.
Totally. I think, I've sort of seen there's a lot of stats that have come back and they've been very heavy in people not wanting to return to the office. Yet a lot of organizations are just saying, okay, well, we're going to bring you back 5 days. It's a bit like the quote from Henry Ford that is, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have asked me for a faster horse. I think there's a lot of hubris when it comes to, sitting at the top of an organization and knowing all, right? The truth is, as a leader in an org, right, I might not set job descriptions for certain roles. I might not set salaries. There's a lot of stuff that just gets delegated out to the organization to people who are better suited to it, right? Yeah. So the assumption that as a CEO, engineers and market people in marketing and people in advertising and people in sales, and all these other orgs and HR all need the same type of environment to be productive is kind of silly. So I think giving the power to the individuals who know their teams best, who can help set those folks up for success, and then stop and listen to them and see how it's going and audit and improve, right? That is a path to success. And it shows engagement and it shows humility. And I think it would be nice to see a little bit more of that from some of the companies out there.
Awesome. Well, I'll share a link with this video to the Ernst Young research so others can dig into it and pull it apart. Dan, as always, I appreciate your time. Anyone else want to get in touch with the Kettle team? Dan can be reached at dan@kettlespace.com. hello@kettlespace.com is our general mailbox. And I am joseph@kettlespace.com.
Yeah.
Until next time, thanks for watching and see you soon.